Hello.
Hi,
Hello,
Nat.
John. Hey.
Hi, welcome everyone. I imagine that we have people coming on, Natty. I'm just imagining a whole room of people, a global room.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. I
What?
am I
Good.
am seeing the numbers are growing of our participants joining. So this is live and exciting and happening. So
Yes.
excited to have all these people pop in and join us. So welcoming everybody wherever you are. In a moment, we'll know a little bit about that. And
Yes.
you,
Good
why you
morning. Good
good
afternoon. Good
morning,
evening.
all of that. Yep.
Wherever you're coming in from, please type in the chat box your name, where you're calling in from, where you're viewing us from. Natty, where are you today?
Hi, today is a very good add-on to where am I? Today, specifically today, I am in France, in Avignon, and I will type it in the chat box too.
Okay, how wonderful. I'm calling in or zooming in from Vancouver, Canada.
All
Oh, look
right.
at all these people.
Wow. So
Wonderful.
yes, welcome. We've got the Netherlands, we've got Margarita from London, Stephen from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Oh, I can't read fast enough.
I know.
Spain,
Windsor, Montreal, Pennsylvania, Croatia.
Portland, Texas, Munich, Zurich, Atlanta. All right, quite a lot of geography we're covering now. Over
And
anybody whose time zone is makes it available for you to join, and so we're very happy that you made the time. Oh, Nupur, India. Let's see
Italy.
how far we can go. Istanbul, yeah,
Yeah, Munich, Spain.
Nantucket.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
All right. So
Yeah.
please feel free to drop in Maldives. Oh, that really is far. What time is it in Maldives right now, Nash, as you're connecting? I'm curious. I mean, I don't have the time zone. Oh,
Quite
20.
reasonable.
All right. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Still not the middle of the night. Anybody is calling from the almost middle of the night, like very late or very early? Anybody from a really far away time zone of far from the day, feel free
Yes.
to chat, to put it in the chat. We're very curious because we cannot see you, which is quite unusual for us. This is our way to get a feel for who's joining. 10 p.m. India. All right. That is so far you're the latest.
Yes. Oh, what about earliest?
Yes.
Who's calling in from, I don't know, wee hours in the morning?
Wee hours in the morning. Yeah. Whatever that means.
Natty, even though we can't see everyone, what I know is no matter what coactive room I walk into in the world, there's the same kind of feeling like there's a welcoming warmth, a connection. How about you?
Yeah, I love that you named that. I think that's one of the things that got me hooked on coactive for sure all these years ago. And it used to be a physical room at the time,
Yeah.
15 years ago when I joined. And there was, I don't know what it was, or maybe I do know now, but it was something special that I encountered all these years ago that hooked me for all these years now.
Wonderful. Well, we'll hear a little bit more about that in a second. So, again, just welcome, excuse me, to everyone who's just joining us now. We can get started and we'll allow other people to join as we go. Thank you
Yes.
for those of you who've gotten here on time. However, you drove here, you videoed here, you called in here. We're just
Totally.
glad to have you.
Yeah. And you notice, Joni and I, we are co-leading this webinar together. You'll notice at times we will maybe speak over each other because it's not scripted. We are just co-leading. This is a coactive way of co-leading an encounter or coactive encounter. And so we just want to name it. It might happen. Hopefully it won't happen too much because we are listening as well, but sometimes the connection, the internet will make us talk over each other, and we will slow down and make sure that we don't do that too much so that it bothers you. But we know it might happen, and we're okay with that.
You notice that in the middle, I'm imagining you can see what we see. It says coactive training. Well, train and then with an I. And Laura, can you come on just for a second and say wave to us? Laura is in the background. She's managing the slides. She's assisting us. But actually, I don't know exactly how the technology works, so maybe she can't come off screen. But just know that if you need anything, there's somebody else besides us managing this today.
Right.
Yeah.
And Joni and I, we are with you and with each other, obviously, and with Laura. And we're also, the way that we will have you speak up is going to be through the chat. So I, on my computer, I can see my co-leader, I can see the slides, and I can see the chat. I may not be able to see everything if a lot comes in, but I'm just going to pay attention to that. So that's how I'm going to listen to your voices coming in through the chat, and feel free to use it.
That's beautiful, Naty, what you've just named. I feel a little sad that I can't see everyone. However, one of the things that we train in our curriculum is how to listen when you can't see or hear everything. There's a unique way that coaches listen. So that's what we're practicing today.
Exactly. I love what you said. Absolutely. Naming that as well. And
So
just
Naty,
also wanted to name something, that this isn't the format of the trainings that we do. We really want to make sure that you understand most of our, all of our work is kind of around the circle, virtual or in person. So this is unusual for us, and maybe for you as well. I don't know. This is unusual, and we're treating it as a great way for you all to get to meet us and know that once, if you decide to sign up for one of the courses, you will see that we are not a PowerPoint kind of webinar methodology. We are sitting around the circle, again, virtual or in person.
Yeah. And Naty, why don't we let them know who we are? Would you like to go first?
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to. So I'm Naty, official name is Natalie. I joined CTI 50. Well, I entered one of these in-person events where I got to meet this thing called coactive coaching. More by intuition. It was recommended to me. And to be honest, this was 15 years ago, over 15 years ago. And this is where the part, to be honest, the other part was not. I was very judgmental on one side, like, who are these crazy people? I have nothing with them. That was my judging mind. But my belly and my intuition says, I want this. This is what I want. And thankfully, I heard and listened to my intuition and not my judgment. And I've since then been a coactive coach. And I did a leadership program, and then I became certified as well as a certified coactive professional coach. And 10 years ago, I joined the faculty, which was, of course, one of my as well desires in this profession. So I've been a faculty for more than 10 years, both, well, at the beginning, it was more certification faculty. So I accompany people who become certified. I'm supervisor, individual group supervisor, and an examiner. And about 9 years ago, I joined as what we call front of the room leader. So I facilitate the workshop that is how we train our new coaches. In addition, I work in leadership development, mostly through collaborations, because I really love to coach and love to lead courses, but I don't love to promote myself, as marketing would have me. In the beginning, I had to do that for 5 years, and now in the last 10 years, I don't do that anymore. So I worked through CTI, through other companies, and sometimes individually as well. And I absolutely love it. I think I found my home, professionally speaking. I'm still looking for my home in the personal side. I've been a nomad intensely for the last 3 years, lived in 12 countries over my life in the last 40 years. After I left when I was 18, the country I was born. So I've been quite a nomad as well, and professionally as well, until I found this home, which is now my really good home, professionally speaking. So, I mean, I could speak a lot more, but that's not the point for our conversation today. So, Joni, what about you?
Thank you, Naty. Well, I'm so glad that we're in the same home together here. Maybe that's where I'll start is I'm from Vancouver, Canada, and I have lived here all my life pretty much, except for a couple of years living in Ottawa. But I came to Coactive in the year 2000. Somebody had just happened to suggest it to me. And I have a degree in psychology, and it sounded very intriguing because there was no such thing as coaching except for sports coaching back then. Um, and I joined the faculty in 2003, and I became a master certified coach in 2007. And I coach in the arena of leadership, wherever people want to be or see themselves as a leader. Most regularly, though, it's in a multinational organization going through a transformation, and they want to move the style of leadership from, say, command and control or hierarchical to more of self-directed teams, and helping them shift the mindset. I work half-time out of Vancouver. I work half-time in Asia and half-time in North America. So I'm on a plane a lot. And I love bringing this work to the Asian market, partly because of my heritage, but partly because it's really very helpful in shifting a strongly hierarchical culture to something where people are more empowered, more engaged, and can bring more of their full self to their families, to their workplace, to their leadership. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, great. Hi, Laura. Thank you for introducing yourself to everyone. She's in the chat box there. Great. Thank you, Laura, for chiming in.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
here's what you can expect from this webinar. So you will learn what coaching is officially, the definition of the coaching that we are here talking about.
We're going to give you a tool. We will do a live demonstration where we'll use this tool, and you'll get to see how you could create a coaching conversation just from something very simple.
Yeah. And so building on this, talking about the live demo you will witness, and one of you will actually be the client for this live demo. So start thinking and feel free to start putting your name in the chat if you are willing to be the client. This is included. It's free coaching, and you get to be coached by a master coach, which is going to be Joni. Just before yes, excellent. I see already names are coming up. Just one thing to name about that, just know that this webinar is recorded. And so for this particular coaching, it will not be confidential. Normally, part of our ethics in coaching, of professional coaching, is everything that's in the coaching is confidential. But of course, if we record it, and it's a public domain kind of thing, please know that for this, there is a non-confidentiality exception, which you automatically read to when you. So thank you for putting your name. Feel free to keep going with the names. We're happy to see a lot of people excited to come on to be coached. And that's going to be a very rich part of this encounter today.
And as you observe the coaching, I will be doing the demonstration this time. You will experience several coaching skills, and then Naty will do the debrief. So you'll learn about the skills as Naty explains what happened in the demonstration. Yeah. And then we will have time at the end to answer some of your questions. Please keep interacting with us on the chat box so that we know that we're not speaking to just like out there into the atmosphere, that somebody's out there listening to us.
Yeah, thank you.
Great.
So let's, if it's okay with you all, let's move to the next slides, Laura. And what are we talking about? Designing our alliance. It's one of the important things that we do, we don't take for granted. We spend a couple moments to say, what are we agreeing on in this space that we have together joined? All of you, all of us, we are part of this space. We are sitting around the virtual circle. What are we agreeing to?
Yes. So this is consciously creating our relationship. And one of the things that coactive coaching does is have us be more effective in our relationships because we're more intentional. And we really pay attention to the nuances of what's going on in the dynamic.
Yeah. And we
So
are explicit. So we are doing it intentionally, consciously, and explicitly. So for
yes.
today, what we are proposing for our alliance is, first of all, we are co-leading. There are some things that are scripted, but our co-leading is not scripted. There's some things we need to say, but we don't know who's going to say what. So we are humans. We are full humans, both of us, and we get to give our 100%, both of us, the whole time.
And could I just sort of make a distinction? It's not that we're winging it. It's that
Yes.
we're both being present 100%, owning this webinar with you. So we're interacting with what comes into the chat box. I'm interacting with Naty. This is a way to really pay attention to what's going on in a conversation and engaging with the person in the present moment. Okay.
Thanks for that nuance. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add here, Naty?
We both said it.
Okay.
I think that's great. So confidentiality, we mentioned already. If there's any question about that, please feel free to put them in the chat. Normally, coaching is a space that is confidential. In this one, it will not be confidential. We need to be very explicit about that.
Yes. Yes. And thank you very much for volunteering. I saw Ivan's name first. I'll just let you know. And Laura will connect with you in the back end while we continue here. So the context about this volunteering is that Laura will set up Ivan, I'm guessing, if Ivan's still willing, and for what the topic will be and how this will go. So we'll just allow that to happen in the back end while we go to the next slide. So this thing called coaching, I don't know about you, Naty, but I've noticed in organizations, a lot of times we go in and the organizations thinks mentoring is coaching, but it's actually quite different.
Yes, yes. And so it is something that I've encountered for all these years since I've been in the field. Myself, I didn't know what coaching was. I had no idea, except for, of course, sports coaching. So here's where I think it's very useful to use the International Coaching Federation definition. And we have it here to share it with you. It's a partnership with individuals in a thought-provoking, creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential.
And if you have any thoughts about that, go ahead and put it in the chat box. Does that surprise you? Is that what you thought it was? Are you still like, yeah, this is what I'm here for? I want to understand this modality. Coaching is unbelievably powerful. You think that by asking questions and getting somebody to answer questions about themselves or about the situation, you know, might be less potent than actually telling them what to do. But when you give people their agency, it's amazing, the human spirit, what they can create.
Yeah. I love where you're pointing, Joni, because this is something that personally, when I came to coaching, I had the urge to help. And I was coming from management and being an executive director in an organization that was meant to help. And so this kind of desire to help, to work with people, to help, to have an impact, I really had to understand that actually the best gift I could give was questions, not answers. Coaching, not mentoring.
Coaching is deep for both the clients and the coaches, says Sayako. It's a fascinating process. Yes. Yeah, it really is. And
just curious as well, if you're here, you know, who for them it's the first encounter with coaching. You can raise your thumb or put it in the chat.
Or there's an emoji. I saw. Yes, there's a thank you.
Yeah.
Zoom has come a long way, hasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. Very grateful for that. And then maybe for some of you who are actually already coaching and already in the profession, just curious about coactive coaching, also feel free to raise your hand.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. Yay, there's people out there. Thank you for interacting with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. So some of you are newbies, some of you are experienced, and I'm sure there's many different variations in between and all around. So thank you for your curiosity and your openness. It's really appreciated. So I think we're good with the what is coaching, Joni? What do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's move on to the tool here that we were going to introduce to you. This is called the Wheel of Life in this particular version. It is not necessarily a proprietary coactive tool. You can find this all over the internet, but we're going to show you how you can use something as simple as a self-assessment like this to launch a coaching conversation.
So it's called the Wheel of Life, which is in itself a metaphor, which metaphors are very much used in coaching, as you will see as well in the demonstration. So here it starts with a metaphor, the Wheel of Life. It's, in this case, a circle, and we're inviting you to actually do it on your space. If you can, take a piece of paper and draw a
Here's my piece of
circle.
paper.
Yep. Have a
Okay.
circle and then cut it in slices, in 8 different slices.
Yep.
Because we're going to invite you to reflect for a moment. The wheel of life that we are sharing with you is already filled, but the one that you have will be yours to fill.
Yes. So if in, say here at the very top is career. So say you're really satisfied in your career, so it might be close to a 10 out here. If you're not so satisfied, it might be down here, maybe
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Significant other over here. That doesn't mean I'm happy necessarily with my significant other. You might not be in a relationship and be very happy about that. Okay, no judgment. This is just for your own use. And in terms of Ivan, though, Ivan, we're going to be sharing this here, okay, in a few minutes.
Yeah, so what Joni is saying is it's really important. What the question we are asking you is to rate your level of satisfaction, not the level of how much there is, but how satisfied am I with what is the current situation. It's a snapshot. It's like for now, at this time of whatever day it is where you are, what is your level of satisfaction for this particular area? So take a moment to look at that, and maybe it would be useful to, you can make it bigger on your side, or we can also say each of the slices of this pizza wheel of life. So we have career, family and friends, significant other, romance, fun and recreation, health, money, personal growth, physical environment.
I'm just trying to type it into the chat box here.
Oh, great.
Health, money. Oh, and physical environment. Let's explain that one.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just typing here.
Yeah.
So physical environment, it can mean anything you want. You might love where you're living. Naty moves around a lot. She's a nomad. She might just love that, oh, I'm in Avignon, love it here, or maybe not so much. So I think I might like to go to Barcelona, etc. Might be that you know, you're in a condo that you've just gotten. Yay, you're happy about that. Or you might love that you're overlooking the water or something like this. Whatever physical environment means to you, okay? Yeah, very personal.
Yeah. And you choose what it means to you.
Yes. Okay. How many of you are done your self-assessment? Just want to gauge if you could give us a thumbs up, then we know if we can move on. Great. Okay. Okay, good. We've given you enough time. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for your
All right.
thumbs up. So what's going to happen next? The demo. Yay! So excited. So we are going to have Laura bring in our demo client, which is Ivan. And Joni, how can I assist you with the timing?
Yes.
How do you want me to let you know?
Yes. Thank you, Naty. So, hi, Ivan. Hi. I'll be with you in just a second. Naty, if you can let me know when we're about 10 minutes, I plan to go about 12 minutes. Does that work for you, Ivan?
Sounds good.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
if we could just tell the observers here, if you would like to just observe what I'm doing, Ivan's going to be more exciting than I am, but we're going to talk about the coaching skills that I'm using. And Naty will debrief them later. And Naty, is there anything else you'd want to tell the observers?
I think you said it all. I think you said it all. How do you want me to let you know about the 10 minutes? You want me to come on camera, or how will you?
Great question. How about if you just come off mute and let me know?
Okay, I will
Yeah,
voice it.
because I'm
And
not
just
sure if
give
there's,
me a sign, give me a sign that you got it so that,
okay, I'll do something
okay,
like that. Okay,
I'll
great.
let you do it. Thank you. Have
Thank
a good
you.
demo.
Okay. Hey, Ivan.
Hey, good morning for me. I'm in Seattle, Washington.
Okay, great. Same time zone as I am in.
Yeah, we're neighbors basically.
That's right. Well, thank you for volunteering, first of all, for what you didn't even know what you're volunteering for. So, first of all, I already know that you're brave, and maybe you're an adventurer as well.
I am.
Okay. Well, what I'd like to know, first of all, before we get into the conversation at all, what do you need from me so that because we did not preset this up, what do you need from me so that you can trust me for the next 10 to 12 minutes?
I think the environment that you've already created is positive, and I know that within the context of our demonstration today, right? It is not confidential. So I think under that context, I am going to provide as much trust as I can.
Okay. Okay. Now, you still are at choice. So if at any time this isn't going well for you, or you want something different, or you feel at all disrespected, please, will you let me know?
Of course, thank you.
Okay. And do I have permission to intrude on your story if we go off on a bunny trail? Because I have 12 minutes to demonstrate something here.
Yes,
Okay. Okay. No, it's not that I'm not interested in your story, that I'm trying to keep you on focus here.
of course.
Okay. Okay. So with that, then I'd like to ask you. I have a copy here. I'd like to ask you what the ratings you gave to each one of these areas in your wheel of life.
Yeah, I could start with personal growth and go clockwise.
Yep. Sure.
So we have a 7,
Okay.
7,
7.
7, 7,
Yep. 7
7.
for friends and family too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then physical environment 8.
Oops. Did I do this wrong? You mean significant? Okay. So I have physical environment at 7.
Okay. I'm going clockwise from personal growth. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I'm using a different template. So
Okay.
I'll just name it
Yes. Thank you.
personal growth 7,
Okay.
career 7,
Yes.
academics 7, fun and recreation 8,
Okay.
relationships 7,
Yep.
physical environment 8.
Oh, okay. Got it. 8. What was money?
Money is 5.
5. Okay. And what is health?
Health is 7.
5. And then there's 7. Okay. Sorry, I have a little bit of a dry marker here, but there's your wheel of life. What do you see?
It's fairly holistic.
Yeah. If we were going to work on one area of this wheel for the next 10 minutes, which area would you like to work on?
Hmm. Let's work on the relationship aspect.
Okay. Significant other relationship is sitting at a 7 right now. Is that right?
Yes, well, I would batch that in with the family as well. So with
Okay.
kids.
Okay. So do you want to look at all of that together, or just that one sliver called, romance significant other?
Let's look at the kids section.
Kids section. Okay. Where would you put the kids section? What number?
Kids probably, I would say maybe 6.
Okay. And when you think about the kids at a 6, what do you see?
It's a difficult age. I got a 2 and a 4-year-old, and they are just starting to become more responsive to discipline, and there's new discipline concerns that come with 4 going on 14 as well. So it's been stressful, but it's also been magical to see their development.
I can hear that you're a devoted father, and it sounds like you really want to be present with everything that's going on, and it's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot going on for sure. I remember when we were very intentional about having kids,
Hmm.
and so one of the factors that went into the decision was, how is this process going to make me a better person?
Okay.
And so, of course, naturally, we knew that the objective for having children was for the sake of the children themselves, right? It's a selfless act,
Yeah.
ultimately, as a primary driver. But of course, right? Hey, we all benefit in some way. And I was figuring out, okay, I'm gonna benefit professionally as well, because
Eh,
the skills learned in raising children are very much applicable in the corporate environment.
absolutely.
So
So if I could
it's
pause you,
hard.
Ivan. Yeah,
Please.
it is hard. It sounds like in some ways you might have a new team.
Yeah, I often joke with my colleagues, like, yeah, I have 2 headcount at home, and it's very hard. I have to put them on a performance improvement plan and coach them to be better employees. And
Okay.
yeah, so I often joke about that.
Okay. So that's what it's like when kids are at a 6. They're on a PIP.
Yeah, they're
What?
on. They've been on a PIP since they've been born.
Okay. Okay. Well, and what number would you like kids to be at?
I think closer to 8 would be
Mm,
satisfactory.
okay.
There's always that margin for improvement, and I think I accept that a level of uncertainty in life. I think
Okay.
I feel good with that.
Okay. So let's imagine your life with your kids at an 8. What is life looking like then?
I feel like a big part of discipline at home with kids is about regulation, and I feel often dysregulated. I feel like the kids bring out a certain aspect of my personality, whether it's short short-tempered or raising my voice.
So what I hear you saying, Ivan, is actually that's you at a 6.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm just going to ask you to, are you sitting right now?
Yes.
Would you be willing to get up and actually move? Like,
Hmm?
this is what a 6 looks like. We're sitting
Oh.
here together talking, but now we're imagining you with the kids at an 8. Whoops, lost you there, Ivan.
Yeah, I'm moving.
Okay, got it. Now I want you to go to a place in your space there that represents what an 8 would feel like.
Okay, I am now at an 8.
Oh, okay, cool. And what's different now?
I think it's the ability to be better regulated, which will make me more effective. And I think it's very critical at this age, at this stage. It's they are learning through osmosis and by example.
Yeah. So what are they getting from you when you're at an 8?
They're getting a much they're getting a more consistent experience in terms of what I say and what I'm doing.
I just sense as you're talking to me now, you're actually more present. What do you notice about yourself here at an 8?
Hmm. A sense of calm.
Yeah. There's a little more composure and groundedness here.
Hmm.
You got this. So now let's take you from this grounded, composed place, calm. What's your household look like now? big gulp here.
Reasonable, obedient kids. Or
Okay.
I guess percentage of obedience. So we have like a little, task tracker that objectively measures like, okay, did you put your toys away? And did you brush your teeth? Right. So we have that. And I like to see those percentages increase over time. And that would be, and also, percentage of conversations where the kids are talking back to me. There's a lot of things where I think I struggle with accepting age appropriate behavior. Like, okay, they're pushing boundaries. That's normal behavior for this stage of their development cycle.
Okay.
It's cerebral to me, but I still feel oftentimes
It's just,
resistant.
yeah. Okay.
Joni,
Okay. I think
that's
resistance.
it.
Thank you. I think resistance might be back at a 6.
Mm.
Here, things are happening around you. Okay. And
Mm.
how are you responding? Just give me a bottom line answer here.
Mm. I think more love and more patience.
Okay. So you, the loving, patient dad, what is one step you can take towards being that dad?
Mm. I think it's reducing the speed of which I become agitated.
Okay. So I have a request. You can say yes, you can say no, you could negotiate with me. It's totally up to you.
Mm.
But will you reduce your or lengthen your fuse by 2/3, knowing that this is just them being kids and you love every bit of them?
I will do it by 50%.
Okay, 50%. When will you start doing that by?
I'll do that today.
Okay. And it helps to have somebody else hold you accountable with you, just letting somebody else know. Who will you let know so that you're not holding this all by yourself?
Oh, my spouse, and she will hold me accountable.
Okay. Okay. Great. Ivan, I really wanted to thank you for volunteering and sharing this part of your life with us. Um, and I'm very grateful for you having this kind of dedication to your family and to your children. It really means a lot to their future and everyone here on the call, our future as well.
Indeed. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
your coaching.
Okay. Okay. So we will bring Naty and everyone back, and Naty will take over from here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you, Ivan, and thank you, Joni. What a beautiful demonstration and how amazing. I don't know if you want to put in the chat, you who have witnessed this 12-minute demonstration of a complete, short, and spacious demo, please feel free to put in the chat. So what I'm going to invite us into now is to look a little bit at what happened. What did the coach, wonderful Joni, do here? Because as we said, we all are very interested in the client, Ivan, but also what we're here for is the coaching. So we're going to do a little bit of debrief. So if you want to put as well in the chat, what skills did you see were used, were present in this coaching? There were a lot of things present. What did you see in this coaching? A lot of listening. Absolutely, Shannon. Oh, wow, you got it. So I'm gonna use what you're saying, and then we'll see if we need to add anything. Listening, accountability, patience, insightful questioning, inquiry, listening to music beneath the words. We call that listening at level 2 and 3. What a beautiful metaphor as well. Let me just go back because you are going so fast.
Yeah,
Changing
very
point
good.
of view. So yeah, asking permission. So you are so well versed and you are so well in observing. You are going very fast. Let me see if I can follow you as you are insightful questioning. What kind of questions? They were open, powerful questions, followed by silence. That was so beautiful. I just want to name that because it's such a precious gift in coaching that we do have questions and then we have silence so that client can really use this time for themselves. We don't want to guess them. We really trust them. They will find what the right question is, what the right answer to that question. And then there was a lot of things around the tool, the actual wheel of life. So just want to name a little bit how it went, the procedure. We use this tool. We asked you to look at it in the beginning, even before we came on. And then Joni asked her client to go, how did you rate yourself? What numbers? And then she wrote it down on her side. And she says, what do you see? Pretty holistic, right? So, and notice one thing that Joni didn't assume that she knew which one he wanted to work on in the time that they had. So she did what she asked. Which one do you want to work on with the time that we have? And he chose one that wasn't even spelled out on this wheel, but it was there, it's inside. And that's how he was creatively using this tool for his own benefit. And then what is the current? What is the current level of satisfaction? 6. Great. Spend a few minutes, a few moments. What's the 6 like? To get a little bit more rounded around what the 6 is. But then she did something really important. Where would you like it to be? And I even said an 8. I would like an 8, not a 10, but definitely more than a 6. I would like an 8. That's what I choose. And then she took him there, but in the beginning it didn't work. What did she do? She didn't pretend that he was there because she named, it sounds like you're still at a 6. And it happened several times because he kept going back. Totally normal. Absolutely. It happens all the time. Client, we said, go to a 7, go to a 10, or wherever you want to go. And then they're still at a 6. So we just name it. We don't make it wrong. We don't judge it. We just name it. But there was a moment when he actually went to an 8. And you could see and sense the difference, right? We could all see it from the background. And so could he, and so could the coach, Joni. So that's what happens. And then, of course, he went back a little bit to the 6. She named it again. She took him back to an 8. And then she acknowledged the beautiful qualities of this wonderful human being who wants to be a loving and patient dad. And she called on it right now, right here, right now. And what's one thing that you're going to do? And she even had a request at the end. Like she said, 2/3 longer fuse. But you choose. You can say yes, no, or negotiate. And then he chose, I'll go for 50%. Great. Who's your accountability partner? You have an accountability partner. Wonderful.
Thank you, Natalie.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you all for putting all of these really beautiful insights into the chat.
You saw
really
a lot.
A lot of rich witnessing of the coaching. We could spend more time, of course, debriefing this coaching. And we want to know if there's anything that strikes you that you're getting from this demo, and then we'll leave some time for questions because we really want to honor your time as well for questions. But before we move to questions, if there's anything that you really got from witnessing this demo or from being in it, please feel free to put it in the chat and we'll try to read your comments aloud.
Well, here's what Ivan has said is he liked the explicit invitation that he could negotiate. So it's not a demand. The coach is always pushing the responsibility, the empowerment, the choice back to the coachee so that they can be the catalyst for the development, the growth, the evolution in their own life.
Absolutely.
We're really just the support.
Yeah. And that's an amazing point to come back to what we said earlier is that we're not mentoring, we're not mentors, we're not consultants, we're not in authority. The authority is, the agency is with the coachee, and we make it explicit. And even in the design alliance, you said, this is what we agree to, but if at any moment there's anything, please let me know. So it's not a one-time thing that you get to be a choice. It's the whole time as a client, you get to be a choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to call out a few of the things that people have put in the chat box here as they're considering what questions they have for us.
Yes.
So what happens if Ivan comes back and it's difficult for him to lengthen his views? What is next? That's Cindy's question. So this is why coaching is an ongoing relationship. The person takes what has happened in the coaching, and it's very powerful or potent when they get outside into their own lives. They try to apply it. It either works or it doesn't work. We're not the police. They come back and we check in about their learning. And from that, we iterate again. So it's very live, it's very customized, and it's very relevant to whatever is going on in the person's life. And they always have a coach or a partner in their corner as they're evolving and growing. So, he's going to fail sometimes, and he's going to succeed a lot. He's going to learn a lot about himself and his relationship with his children.
Yeah. And I love how you're bringing in, he's going to fail. This is part of the non-judgmental space that we co-create with our clients, with our coachee, is that we are not attached to success, because we are on the side of the client, and we're not their manager, we're not their performance evaluator. We are in their corner, and of course they're going to fail. Why? Because they are brave and courageous and engaging outside of their comfort zone. By definition, there's going to be some learning there. By definition, sometimes the learning might include some failing. So we include that.
So Nupur, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, you have a question around which of these nuances is specific to coactive coaching. I'll say that what our model does, and this is the model, you don't have to read it, but just so you know, this is the model. What it does is it has it as its core, the star is the coachee or the person you're having the conversation with. And we're illuminating, expanding, and growing that star. So we're not scripted. Everything that happened there was not pre-planned. I didn't know where the coaching was going, but I'm following or tracking the energy, the nuances, etc. That is very specific to our model. In coaching in general, we do this, but the way that we do it in coactive is our listening and our deep ability to sit in the discomfort of not knowing what's going to happen. Yeah.
I love what you named here. The willingness to sit in the discomfort. That's an amazing way to put it. Yeah.
And when would you use this tool?
Yeah.
Oh,
when would we use the tool? So it's really a flexible one that we could use in for example, a discovery session with a new client, if we wanted to do that. Or we could use it in a sample session, a chemistry session, when you want to know whether there's a good match with a new client. Or at any time, really at any time in the coaching. It's a useful thing to bring as a coach to the coachee. And most of the sessions, once you engage in a coaching relationship, most of the session, the topic will come from the client. Yeah,
that's right. One question here is, how could you use this with teams? So one-on-one is one thing. I'm observing what's happening over there. When it's one-on-many, I'm having to observe that all the individuals who are in the unit. I'm also having to observe what is happening in the dynamic in between the different individuals. And I would use the same or similar skills, which is naming what is happening, what I'm observing. We call this skill articulating. Naty has mentioned this before. We use this a lot in coactive coaching. The kinds of questions we ask as well are very broad and open-ended, and they're guiding the coachee or the team members to look in certain areas for their own answers. Okay, it's not just random questions. We are pointing them somewhere.
Yeah. Well, there's a really interesting question as well. All of the questions are interesting.
Yes.
For the sake of time, How do you know when a client needs therapy and not coaching? Is that covered in the training? It is, as well as it is a part of the ICF competency. So part of it is there's an overlap, and over the years, there's a bit more meeting of where coaching starts and therapy ends. There's a bit more overlap over the years, as therapy has become a field that is more now in the present and not only in the past. And so that there is more of an overlap. So yes, there is time to focus on that. And it's also very something that each coach has to kind of get stronger as they become, when you become trained as a coach, everything seems like, oh, that's too big for me. I think they need therapy, right? That's totally natural because you're not yet practiced as a coach. And the more practice you become as a coach, the more you can make the distinction with the experience as well.
Adrian has a question here. Would you also support talking through action items that a coachee would take to get to a different level? Absolutely. When I ask the coachee, you can say yes, no, or counter offer or negotiate with me. They might say something like Ivan could have said, I'd like to go in this direction. Great. It's not about me. He has an idea and I'm always following. The coachee is leading. And one of the things that is the hallmark of our model is called dance in this moment. So I'm actually having to always stay present with what's happening as the coaching conversation is unfolding. It's not what happened 2 minutes ago or even 10 minutes ago. That's unique to our model. There was a question in here about the nuances. There's so much that we could tell you. And honestly, this is, just a taster because it's an hour. And the fundamentals course, which is our first entry-level course, is 2.5 days, where you're going to learn like 19 skills, this whole model, how to engage with people. But let's see, what else do we have? Is there anything else, Naty, that
yeah, there's another question. As a coach, do you ever look at the past to inform present challenges and more obstacles to change? Again, we follow the lead of the client. We are not concerned by the past to understand the client, but we are concerned at how they are in this moment, which includes their past. How are they relating? We all come with a past, of course. How are they relating to something, and how is that impacting their life today or their profession today?
Yes.
So it's not a taboo. It's not that we ignore it. It's just that we don't focus on it.
Yes, yes, yes. Of course, it impacts who we become and how we evolve. We just won't put the attention there because coaching actually is like the pumpkin in Cinderella's story. The coach takes the person from where they are now to where they want to get to, A to B. We don't go to the past. Okay. It influences and informs, but we will put our attention going forward. Yeah.
So we have another question. How many tools do we provide in the fundamentals training course? I'm not sure I can answer that question because we're not, to be honest, so much tool focused. Today we use the tool because it's a very useful one and we have it and we want to share it with you. More than the tools, it's how do you become the coach that you are potentially available to become? So the tools are there to support, and I don't know the number. Do you know how many tools we teach in fundamentals?
Well, I just started to write down some of the things and then
yes.
I actually, but to the question that was in the chat box about what is a distinction or nuances about coactive coaching, that is a key one, is we're not just focused on what to do. It's how do we show up? What is our presence? So this will help you in all aspects of your life. And Naty, you might be better than me to be able to say, what was my presence like in that coaching demonstration? How would you define it?
Absolutely, absolutely. So and I'm sure a lot of the participants have noticed that you were extremely spacious, welcoming, present. Your listening was totally developed. Your intuition was available. You were courageous and connected and soft. And the word is not authority, but you were fully unapologetically offering your intuition without being attached to it. So all these things that we witnessed you in only 12 minutes was very much a embodiment of you embodying what it's like to be a coactive coach at a master level, of course. Did I miss anything that? Well,
I can't see it.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe some of you can add to what you saw in the presence. This is really important. This is why the coactive model is co and active.
Yeah.
There is active in it, right? But there's also what we call co, which is of course the relationship, but also the who we are, the container that we become, and we enhance ourselves as the container so that we are available for the coaching. And I'm talking about you as a coach right now, the future coach.
I think that's a key distinction. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so where are we going to go to now?
Well, let's come back to practical, right?
Yeah.
So we're about to end this webinar, and we want to make sure that you, well, hopefully are curious and maybe interested to pursue. So know that there's going to be a lot of information is available on the website. I'm sure you're already much aware. And Laura has just put something in the chat for all who are interested.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
that you can look at if you want to do more. There's a very important address is service@coactive.com, or you can schedule a call with an advisor. I know I did that many years ago. I did that. That was very useful.
Here's the thing. Coactive attracts a certain kind of a coach. And actually being here today, you can feel internally whether this is right for you. If this is a fit for you, we welcome you. We want you to join us. And if this isn't the style for you, that's totally okay too. Really, in coaching, the best indicator for success is the fit between the coach and the coachee. So same actually with what you're going to train in. So really, empower yourself, make a choice that actually feels life-giving and fulfilling for you. And know that here at Coactive, we are the largest and oldest coach training school in the world. We trained half of all the coaches globally. There is a huge community. We welcome you with open
around
arms.
The world. Around the world.
Yes.
Very international.
Absolutely.
And if we could go back to the last slide, Laura, just so you know that there's a new partnership in case you really find that this is a fit for you, that you can find a payment plan. We recognize this is a big investment on your side, whether time, energy, and also money, of course. So Coactive has just developed a new partnership. For the moment, it's only for US residents. And hopefully it will become available to other areas of the world, as we are really a global company. I myself have trained in outside of the US. I train people outside of the US, and it's one of the rich parts of this program. Thank you, Laura. I think you can take it down. I think now. So we want to honor your time, right?
Yeah.
So thank you so much. This is the time flew by. I don't know about you, Joni.
Yes, absolutely.
It was amazing, and participants have been super active in the chat. We've really appreciated your presence and your time and your attention, your questions, your comments.
And Naty,
continue the conversation.
Absolutely. And Naty, I want to thank you for our dance, I'll call it today. And having just met you yesterday and working with you today, it's been delightful.
Indeed. Thank you. This is the first, I hope, of many future co-leading together.
And I hope that we'll see some of you in one of our rooms globally or online. It's really become such a passion for us to spread the word and invite you into our family.
So welcome, a big welcome, and see you soon, hopefully, in one of our classrooms.